So in the Bhagavatam, there is a story of Gajendra Moksha. What is the Gajendra Moksha story? There is this elephant who is wandering in the forest. He is extremely powerful, mighty and egoistic, that there is none but me who can be the great leader of this forest. And he goes around, moving around with that attitude. Finally, he feels thirsty. He sees water. He gets into it. And he gets into that water. And as he's drinking that water and he's about to finish his task and move out, one crocodile gets hold of his feet and keeps pulling it into the lake. The crocodile wants to pull the elephant into the lake. The elephant wants to pull himself out of the lake. There is this fighting which the scriptures say goes on for thousands of years. You can imagine, no? We all teach kids, and then the kids say, "Mom, how can the elephant fight with the crocodile for 1,000 years when the life expectancy of the elephant is just 100 years?" Right? That's what the little kids will ask, right? There is so much of symbolism behind it. What is this crocodile and what is this elephant? And what is the next and the last part of the story? Finally, the elephant is not able to manage. So all of a sudden, the elephant realizes there is a god somewhere. And he looks up, he puts his trunk up there. And there, his trumpeting is heard by Lord Vishnu himself. And he sits on the Garuda and comes down and releases his Sudarshana Chakra. And that cuts the crocodile into two pieces, and the elephant is able to come out. Such a wonderful story. This is painted on our Prashant Nilayam campus auditorium also. This is called Gajendra Moksham episode of the Bhagavatam. What is the symbolism behind it? I always emphasize this in my talks because that has been my journey as well. Miracles are like primary school. We have to move from the primary school to the secondary school of his message of the Bhagavad Gita. So understanding the message of the Gita or the spiritual message is the secondary school. Then you have to come to the university and read the Upanishads, which tell that there is no difference between the individual and divine. That is when you get the university degree through that Upanishadic understanding. Finally, if you want PhD, highest degree, doctor, you have to write the Bhashyams on the Brahma Sutras, which say that God is verily the essence, the sutra, the thread which is putting this entire creation together. Brahma Sutra means that God is the unseen thread which weaves this entire creation together. All these beautiful flowers of creation that we see are tied together by the divine thread of God Himself. That is the progression we need to make. So the message is very, very important, which is still higher secondary school. So what is the message of this Gajendra Moksha? What is this elephant? This elephant is the mind, which perpetuates birth after birth, birth after birth. The body dies, the mind doesn't die. The mind continues, it comes into another form. That is the Sukshma Sharira. And the Karana Sharira is the one where the karmas are stored. So these are the ones, so the Sthula Sharira passes away. But this mind, which is the Sukshma Sharira, and the Karana Sharira where your karmas are stored, they take up another Sthula Sharira. They continue. This is given in such extraordinary detail in the Mandukya Upanishad. Your Sukshma Sharira is your mind. This continues. And what does this mind do? It takes birth after birth, and keeps wandering in the forest thinking that it has all the capacity. What is this forest? This world is the forest with all the multiplicity, and the mind is like, I am the boss around here. Then it develops the desires and the thirst for satisfying itself. That is the thirst, the lake. That lake is the lake of your sensual desires. And the mind tries to enter it every time it takes a body. And when it gets into it, what happens? The crocodile of these negative tendencies again drags the elephant into the pond of this world, which the mind gets into every time. What does the mind at that time do after realizing so many lifetimes that in my own effort I am not able to do? It looks up to God and says, "Oh God, there is nobody else except you who can help me out from this pitiable situation." That is when God responds to your prayer and He releases the Sudarshana Chakra. What is Sudarshana Chakra? Swami said that is not the discus of Lord Vishnu, which is thrown which is released at the crocodile. Sudarshana, divine vision, his divine grace, his divine looks falls upon this individual soul, and that individual soul is then redeemed of this journey to come back again and again. That is true Gajendra Moksha. That is when we get Nirvana.